Hey, thanks for joining me on this edition of the podcast. I'm your host, Jason Brown, the co-founder of SERPWoo and the inventor of SERP tracking. And today we look at what's working this week in SEO for August 8th. Now, we had some fluctuations, some volatility in the SERPs since our last video. A lot of this volatility happened on August 3rd. Let me change screens and show you that here. So what you're looking at here is our volatility tool here at SERPWoo. And as you can see, our last video actually came out on August 1st, which was representative right here. And the very next day, August 2nd, we had a volatility spike to 17. Now, usually anything over 15, sometimes 16, start getting real cautious about. And as normal, as predictive, if you go through a lot of these volatility charts here at SERPWoo, usually when something spikes up, it spikes the next day. So these are, slow rollouts that happen with Google. Slow to me is more than one day. So we got August 3rd at 20%, and then August 4th was at 17 as rumblings started settling in, and August 5th at 17 also, and then the 6th and the 7th coming in pretty typical after a volatility spike like this. And then today, I usually wait till the end of the day before I really look at this volatility because it can go up and down as we still gather data. But that's the spike that we had after the last video. So I'm going to go ahead and let you guess what the number one factor was this week. Go ahead, type it in the comments. Maybe one of you all will win a cool prize from us here at SERPWoo. But let's go ahead and look at it. It's page size, number one factor that shows correlation about what's ranking on the first page of Google compared to page 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Page size rolls into body tag size as well. Basically, the overall size of your page. Now, the size of your page can be determined by a lot of things. Hopefully, your page, most of the size is consisted of with your actual textual content and not just a bunch of fluff in the head section or a bunch of fluff with JavaScript and so forth. The page size was number one. Keywords and titles was number 2. Keywords and sentences was number 3. Keywords in H2, which is my favorite because of longevity. Keywords in H2 has showed up as a top 20 factor for years, and I've been tracking this. Keywords in H3. So we got a little bit of a jump compared to previous weeks in H3. H1. Number of images. Now that's new. And there's actually a little bit more to this. This actually came up twice, or images came up twice, but number of images was a little bit higher than the second listing of images, which I'll circle back to here in a second. Keywords and meta description, which took a fall from last week. And word count. This is the first time in a while that we've seen word count actually hit in the top 20. So that's pretty interesting to see. And when you really think about page size and maybe the size of your page largely dictated by your content and your words, this makes perfect sense. So here's that extra with the images. Alt text came up as a top 20 factor. So I just grouped it into number of images because you've got several images on your page. You need to have that alt text. So instead of making it its own line item, I just bundled it in here with number of images. Those images with alt text. Now, we haven't seen alt text in a while either, so it's nice to see that coming back up on this list. So I decided to keep it short and sweet this week. I'm not going to hound you about likes, comments, and subscribes. If you definitely want to help us out, if you've learned something new, or even if you found something interesting, go ahead and hit that like button, leave us a comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can be one of the first ones to learn about these updates and what's working each week. Other than that, I hope you have a great week, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Thanks. Goodbye.